common reasons that people choose to homeschool their children is to give them a more personalized and specific education according to their needs. This is absolutely true in our case. We homeschool our four kids who are currently age 10, 8, 6, and 4. As a classroom teacher, I saw that one of the things that often got shortchanged due to lack of time, lack of effort, and lack of extra resources was writing. I'm talking all things. Things like grammar, things like spelling, things like forming a cohesive paragraph, and then leading into quality essays. All of this takes time to teach, but if you can keep the anxiety low and keep the enthusiasm there, it can really make for a much more enjoyable and successful experience. So today, I would love to share what we do for writing and share with you a couple resources that may or may not be helpful. But I want you to stick around to the end. I'm going to show you how you can make your own version of this. If you don't want to get any of the resources I'm going to share with you, I'll show you how to make it on your own, okay? Let's go. Okay, so what do our kids do for writing? There are kind of three main avenues that they get writing instruction. The first is our ELA or English Language Arts curriculum. We use The Good and the Beautiful. It's actually available for free to print, K to 8. So if you need that link, I'll link that below. We have all four of our kids share the same books. We just pass them down and we copy the pages that they need to write on. So the first bit of writing comes from there. There are obviously little questions, fill in the blanks, and then also some writing assignments that come along, things that are creative, things that are in response to something else, things that are copying from the book. So it'll say, use this as your topic sentence, write the rest of the paragraph, choose which conclusion you'd like. I love it. It's a really easy kind of gradual approach to essay writing rather than just saying, write a thesis, write an intro, write a conclusion. That is much more digestible for little kids as they're in, second, third, fourth grade is when they're doing these types of assignments. Love it. The second way that our kids get writing instruction is their book studies. Now, I love book studies. I teach book studies. I have self-paced book studies. I'm all about the book studies. There is so much that you can learn from a great book. And when we take the time to discuss them, think about a book club. If you've ever been a part of a book club, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you don't realize what something is a symbol for or what this connection could be. So there's so much we can dive into, and especially cross subject lines, we can kind of get into lots of different areas with science, with history. All of these things could be taught by using a really good piece of literature. All right, off my soapbox. Our kids do a book study as well. I happen to purchase book studies that I really like, and I use those as a guide, print out the packets, and then talk through them as they go. Now, I always make sure to read the book first. A lot of times I'm really surprised at how much I love these books that are meant for kids and young adults. So I would encourage you to do the same. Find some time to read or get the audiobook. We use the Libby app, which connects to your library card. So we've got our family card. We've got a couple friends who had an extra library card who gave us an opportunity to use it. So we've got plenty of books, plenty of options, especially as our youngest kids start to want to get in on the audiobooks and the books that they can have access to on Libby. I should note that in these book studies, sometimes they write a single word, but other times there's more space for writing. I always encourage them to write a complete sentence. This is something important for them to learn, and it shows that they put a little bit more effort into their work rather than just writing one or two words to satisfy the answer to the question. The third way our kids get writing instruction is through their daily journals. Now, I've mentioned this in previous videos. It started out kind of random, but I just said, okay, you're in first grade, you're going to write one sentence per day. We also do bilingual homeschool. We are a biliterate family. We want our kids to be great writers and readers as well as speakers of Spanish and English, and they're learning their third language with French. And so in order to continue on, that one sentence in first grade also needed to be translated into Spanish. This gave us an opportunity, again, low anxiety, low stakes opportunity to teach a little bit of Spanish grammar as well without a big old to-do with extra grammar instruction. So as far as their grade level, first grade, one sentence in English, they translate it to Spanish. Sometimes it can be about whatever they want, but a lot of times, and I'll show you in just a second, there's a prompt that I'll give them. Third grade, 3 sentences. We've got a sixth grader this year. She's writing 6 sentences at a time. and translating those 6 sentences to Spanish. This is something that they curl up on the couch, they get a blanket, they get one of the lap desks or a clipboard, they go outside, they have a picnic, and they do their writing. So this is not something that they're like sitting at the table and, handwriting is not the biggest deal here. I want them to get the words out and express themselves in different ways. That's the easy explanation for this. Now, what do they write about? So one of the more important things, and I want you to kind of go down memory lane with me, is opening up a textbook and then seeing what you were supposed to do for the day. Perhaps there was a workbook and you opened it up and there was a really cool activity that you got to do instead of just answering questions. That's the idea with the writing prompts that I've put together. So I love using photos as inspiration. Perhaps they're just people's faces, or perhaps they're animals. And you can't see the background with the animals. I want you to come up with the background or the kind of setting for your story about the animal. I also love giving them short snippets of a sentence and then having them finish the sentence and add another one. And then also the opportunity to just write on a topic or write a purpose-filled piece of writing. That would be like a thank you note or a note of encouragement, something like that. This leads into one of the resources that I want to share with you, which is my Open and Go writing prompt journal. Now, this is available in lots of different formats. There is a 5-day free version, so you can just check it out and see what I'm talking about. There's also a 45-day version. There's 45 more days if you need a little bit more. There's a third quarter and a fourth quarter. You can get those separated into semesters, and there's also a year-long, 180 school year-long bundle of writing prompts. So I'll leave those linked down below. But what you need to know is that those journals represent those different formats. And the reason they're set up like that is so that kids don't get bored. We don't want them to just have to come up with sentence after sentence. We want to give them something. Life and writing out in the real world is always inspired by something. There's a need that we have to meet, or an occasion, or something has inspired us and we just feel the need to express ourselves. That's what these prompts are meant to do. Now, I told you I would show you how to actually make one of these. So if you're still with me, high five. You're a legend. Go ahead and either open your slide creation, presentation creation tool of choice. This could be PowerPoint. This could be Google Slides. This could be Canva, your choice. I'm going to go ahead and go with Canva, but you'll see that I quickly make my way to Google Slides. So hang tight. Okay, here we are in Canva. So I've just got a big presentation opened up. I've put these nice little borders, a nice little prompt area where I can write things. You can make this as simple or as complex as you want. Your call. I like to add different formats, as I mentioned. So I've got 3 photos of kids doing activities. I like to keep it thematic on each one. So day 6, for example, choose one of the photos, write 3 to 5 sentences about what's happening. Keep writing if you'd like. I never want it to seem like we're giving them a hard stop. So if they want to keep writing, that's great. Then on the next slide is where they're going to write. Okay, give them a big blank space. I'll show you how they can type in here. Some kids love typing. It's like a treat for them. That's an added bonus here. Some kids want to put pencil to paper. That's great. Print the thing, staple it, have them use their pen, paper, pencil, whatever they want to use on here. So that's what one format looks like. Here's the next one. Finish each sentence and add one more. The forest was alive with the sounds of. Finish the sentence and then add one more. We walked into the house and immediately the smell of. I think about bread, but your call, whatever you think of, and then add one more. Climbing up the mountain left her tired, but add on what you'd like. So we're going to take these slides, export them as JPEGs, and then head over to Google Slides. Okay, here we are in Google Slides. Now I've imported each of those, and it does take a second because you do have to import, add a new image to each slide. It takes a second, but it's not too bad. So you just add each slide and then put them in. So as you'll remember, these were the photos that we saw in there. Kids aren't going to be writing on the slide, so we don't have to worry about that. But if we go to the next one, I'm going to go ahead and add a text box. See how it says begin writing here? Great, that's where it's going to go. This text box is nice and big. Kids are able to then put their cursor in there and begin writing. Same thing over here, right here, and right here. So we're giving them the opportunity to add what they want. Now, this is where the magic comes in. And like I said, you can get a free version of this. But if you want to add your own writing prompt, you would simply delete what was in there or create a duplicate slide and then add your own writing prompt. Pretty cool. Lots of different ways that you can make this doable for your child. So, writing does not have to be the slog that it might feel like or that you fear it would feel like. Go ahead and meet your child where they're at. Start at a lower number if you don't want to start at 6 if they're in 6th grade. Start at a lower number and build up. Maybe every 2 weeks you add another sentence, something like that. But get it on the calendar so it doesn't seem like a punishment. Get it published somewhere so that they know what's expected. At this point, you'll be writing this many sentences and have fun with it. Writing should not be a chore. It should be something that we enjoy so that later on, when we're writing more academic things, we can kind of forget about the mechanics of stuff a little bit more and enjoy writing about the content that we've got at hand. So if you enjoyed this, I would love to hear what you're doing for writing this year. Go ahead and share those below. I think we can all learn something new. So I'll be checking the comments on this. And if nobody's told you yet today, thank you for doing what you're doing. It's really important. Happy teaching.